G'day everyone, it's Jo from Weedon Melbourne doing a live, my first face-to-face live, so hopefully I'll do okay. I'm standing here in the very corner, which is actually on my window of my stamp room, so you'll be able to see my stamp seats, not all of them which are current. Let me try and keep reasonably still, but here's my current items. Probably these three, I believe, and the rest are retired that I haven't quite worked out if I want to sell or I'll keep. Hey Judy, g'day Rails, how you going? So turning, I don't know how to tell you how this all works, turning left or right, but going behind me is all of my photo albums here. I began as a scrapbooker, and I had I have a very close friend, Nicole, who started Creative Memories as a consultant, and so I did a lot of scrapbooking, and that's fallen off a little bit, but it's certainly something that I still would like to stay true to. And while I think of it, I've got the camera facing me, one, so you can see me, and two, because my reverse camera is actually damaged, so I've got to do all of my lives this way, and I can't work out how to flip the camera. It's just not an option for some reason, so we'll persevere. So I've got in here a basket of goodies. There's lots of swaps in there, there's kits that I've not worked on, there's a heap of different things in there that one day I'll sit and work through. Moving across, I'm trying to give you a bit of a reasonable look. There's all my colour families. Now, I do my cardstock according to families. I've got a girlfriend, Susan, who runs it according to the rainbow spectrum. I can't work like that, so I stick to the families, and it just seems to work better in my head. Down here I've got my punches. So they're the old whale punches, and my current stackable ones. And I can't tell you, I mean, there's retired in here as well, and then back on these shelves here I have a heap of the stackable ones as well that fit really well in my shelves, along with another set of ink pads as well. So without spinning you too hard, I've got lots of different shelving with different things. I'm very lucky this was actually our dining room. G'day Brooke, how you going? Hope all's well with you in the florist world. So this was our dining room, which I've kind of taken over because we never formally used it as a dining room. And what have we got up here? Oh, the old catalogues up behind here so that they're always accessible. My designer paper, generally the older paper is here, and current or not so long ago is in here. So Bird Ballad, for example, is there, and Mongolia, the Mongolia Lane is there. Fantastic, Brooke, I'm so glad for you. And something that I've only just realised, on the back of our designer papers is the list of the colours. If I pop this up here, of course it's going to be written backwards, so you're not going to see it properly, but on here is all of the colours. But what I've always done in my 10 years as a demo is write down the list of the colours so that at a glance I know exactly what colour cardstock I can use. And with stamping, with stamping comes my candles that I use for relaxation as well. So recently I've become good friends with Kelly the Candle Lady, and so I really enjoy the party light candles. So I've got quite a few products up there, depending on the mood that I'm in and what I can do. So heading towards the main sort of thoroughfare of my room is my toolbox. I'll kneel down, I'll show you. My toolbox, which is fantastic movable item. It's already got my kits and everything in it because I was going to have my craft class or card making class on Monday night with some beautiful women, but for whatever reason they were all struck down with different illnesses or had family that needed them. And so that's ready for next fortnight, thank goodness, ready to go. So big shots at the ready, scoreboard, etc. All of that ready to go. So I slowly walk back and turn into the middle of my room. Here we've got my computer and my neutrals of my white, my vanilla and my basic black, because that's almost always needed. So that's there. Another box of goodies that one day I'll go through again, but there's certain cards and certain gifts that you just can't part with, and they are really wonderful inspiration and full of love. So sometimes when you need a lift, you pull out something that, you know, my mate Rails may have sent me, or Monica may have sent me something to make me smile, and so I'll pull that out, give me a bit of inspiration, whether it's a sketch or colour or the stamp set or whatever it is, and that will spur me on, keep me going. So, moving into the middle of my table, here is some boxes that I'm working on. Oops, sorry, just going to grab the phone differently. Some boxes that I'm working on for my stamp ladies, so they'll all get one next class. I haven't quite finished them. If you have a look down here, I've been working on cutting out the bird bellet designer paper, because I'm going to stack the birds on the tags, etc., so that I can show those off. So a bit of fussy cutting has been happening, which I just love. And then the containers that allow me to grab anything that I need to. Good old Groot, my friend, holding my glue up upside down so that it's ready at all times. Markers, and then my ink pads. And obviously in time I'm going to change them to the new ink pad design, which are fantastic because they're stackable. And I think they just look nicer the way that they seem to sit on top of each other as well. Working along my big table, I've got that's the example that I showed a couple of weeks ago with a video that I made, my template, and a diary to try and keep on top of posts and blogs and different things I'm trying to keep up to date with, trying to step up my business, and let everybody know that that's what I'm wanting to do as well. So tentatively walking around to the other side, I've got my card box. So if I ever make extra cards, people will often say, you know, hey Joe, have you got a card? So they're all sort of sitting there ready to go. Just a few cards, you know. And this side of the room is a bit of a no man's land. So the opposite side, here I've got another shelf that I got given for some more stamps should I decide to put it somewhere, although I'm running out of room. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, but it was being given away and I didn't want it to go to landfill, so certainly I'll utilise it somewhere. So I'll move this out of the way. I'll be able to show you my shelving of various bits and pieces, some examples of work that I've been given, some things that I've worked on, some swaps that I've made. You know, that was a couple of years ago, one of my swaps. Let me move that in closer. Some earrings from a stamp set that I really loved. There's a swap that I got from Gail. She gave to me with some fudge in Sydney, or maybe it was Queensland, I can't quite remember. But I keep it all. And then a few other different areas. And then, you know, the family area, various games and everything. Good old stereo, because I've got to have some music happening. Some old examples of things that I've made along the way. You know, a small wreath made from designer paper, which is quite easy as such, but just a bit time consuming. Just wrap it in paper, in brown paper that we used to get from our orders. And then, hey Wendy, g'day, nice to see you here, thank you. So once you've wrapped the wreath in the brown paper, then you simply just curl, I think it was a 1/2 inch by 3 inch designer papers, and just consistently curl them and then attach them accordingly. So there's a quick tutorial for you. And then this is my storage area. So down there's all my market stuff, which I don't use very often now because I don't tend to do markets. I actually can't get down there because there's a few chairs and everything in the way for classes. Recipe books, Thermomix books, reading books, Bryce Courtney, who I love, and my little knick-knacky area as well. And then here I've got just a couple of items that I'm selling for a close friend of mine that I'm still cataloguing and going through so that we can post them on whichever forum it is that she wants to do, and then we can make her heaps of money and we can go on some exciting adventures together. So that is a tour of our dining room, but actually my stamp room hasn't been a dining room for a very long time. I should show you one thing, going back to where my colours are here. Down here, look, this is a pull out. Let me move this out of the way. Is a pull out. This is where I normally keep my big shots. They will normally sit there together, twinning, so that when I've got something that I need to use, I need to cut with the big shot, I just pull that out, use it, and then put it away. It is fantastic. So good not to have to lift it out all the time. So a real, I was going to say time saver, but more back saver. So the friend who built the shelves for themselves, and then I bought them off them, had made it, and it's just perfect. I think originally maybe it was made for a keyboard or something, but I don't care, it works for me. Hi Carmel, g'day. So yeah, it works really well. But love that idea. So not a very long video today, but probably the first time I put my face on video. But I appreciate you being here. Be sure to share my video, share my page. I would be incredibly grateful. And if there's anything that you've got questions about from my stamp room, I'd be happy to answer any question. And if there's anything that you see in the background that you like, ask away and I can see if I can help you, whether it's a tutorial or products, of course, I can help you purchase, or simply make a comment. Just make me smile, and it's wonderful to know that somebody's looking at my videos and that I can bring you a bit of happiness. So I'm super glad that you're here. Thanks for your time. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.